So I'm introducing, see, this is fast paced. We're moving at such a rate, and we'll probably end up doing a group 150 years because that was so tremendous. So tremendous with Jojo. Now, Kati is joining us from Finland. She's very brilliant coach. She's a brilliant trainer. She does a lot in her own right. You know, she's really out there doing amazing things, and she's done a lot with me. So, Kati, tell us about you and what you're going to be doing.
So, hello everybody. It's absolutely lovely being here, and it's lovely seeing familiar faces. And Jojo, that was so brilliant. I was just going to say, oh, you just keep going, keep on going, girl. I can talk another
Thank
time. That was brilliant, and I love Harry Potter, so it was absolutely wonderful listening to that. So I work as a soul coach, and I thought that today I know that you'll be taking many brilliant journeys. What I could share with you would be something simple, something that was very close to my heart when I first started working with Anne, because the first question that came to me was, what part is it that travels about me? So that's why I thought that I would bring the topic of a soul connection to your future and your past with me today. And I've actually made a presentation. So I'm going to share my screen with you. You can see the teacher in me here. Um, and then you can see my screen now, and then I'll start with the presentation. I'm just going to check if can you see my presentation okay? Yes, very good. So discovering your soul connection to your future and your past. Um, so this was very important for me because I like to understand what is it that happens when we go on those inner journeys, um, and how we can get the most of them. So that's why I wanted to talk to you about what are some of the tips that you can pay attention to in your everyday life that might tell you about, well, now it is the time to do an inner journey, either into the past or the future. And then what is it that you can do before and after those journeys that will help you integrate what it is that you get on those journeys into your life? So before we go any further, I thought I would introduce myself also with a couple of words, although Anne so beautifully already did it. So I work as a soul coaching practitioner, and I've trained with Denise Lynn. Many of you may know her, and I've been so happy and fortunate to also train with Anne for a couple of years. So I'm one of her master FLP trainers and an advanced FLP practitioner. And I also work as a systemic facilitator in organizational, family, and nature constellations. And I feel that the soul connection is part in all of this work that I do. Naturally, it's self-evident in soul coaching, and then when we take the future life progression journeys into the future. But in the systemic field, when we enter the constellation setting, we start feeling into often the collective soul of a family or an organization. And naturally, the soul of the nature is something that truly touches our hearts when we get in touch with that. So this short workshop that I'm giving you today has three parts. The first part will be looking at into the concept of the soul. What is it? What might it be for you? And then also, what are soul journeys? What is the purpose of taking a journey into the past or into the future? In the second part, we will, as I mentioned before, maybe we'll have some tips in our everyday life that can tell us that, well, this is the perfect time for a soul journey or for a meditation journey into the past or the future. So we'll look at some of those hints and tips that you might find in your own life that might tell you that now is the time. And then the third part was how to integrate what it is that you take with you from those journeys. How can you actually make that wisdom? How can you take that guidance and make it a part of your life? And stay with me until the end for about 15 minutes or so. And I have a special bonus if that's okay with you today. I'll share that with you at the end of the presentation. So how do you answer the following question? What is the soul? And I was thinking for quite some time about what could be a good picture to put here on this slide. And I ended up with a picture of the ocean. Because once you journey down to the bottom of the ocean, you have a deep stillness, the depth of the soul of the ocean right there at the bottom of the ocean that you don't always recognize on the surface. And I think that's something that is also present when it comes to our own soul connection. It's somewhere that is deep within us, in the inner realms that we can connect with and that we can ask to connect with so that we have that power when we journey into the past or the future. And so just to get quick experience of your own soul connection, I would like you to ask you to close your eyes or lower your gaze if that's easier for you. And the question that we are approaching as you close your eyes or as you lower your gaze is, what is this part of me that is my soul? How would I feel it? How would I describe it? What would be the best way for me to connect with the inner realm where all my wisdom, where all my guidance, where all the information that I could ever need resides? And I would like you to just breathe into that, into the knowledge that there is an inner realm. Although so many times the focus of you is on the outside of you, of what is around you, who is around you, at this moment, what if you tune into the deep realm of the soul that is within you? And if you were to describe the connection that you have with your soul, or if you were to describe the essence of your soul, what would be the word that you would use? How would you describe that innermost part of yourself? And just allow that to be present for you today. Perhaps you've already connected with it as you've been here to be a part of the journeys. But just allow that to be there for you as you continue journeying onwards in the further presentations to come. And then when you feel ready, I'll invite you to open your eyes if you had your eyes closed, and we'll continue with some of the slides that I have here for you. The question, what is the soul? I wanted to share what I was taught by my teacher, Denise Lynn. And she says that soul is a word we use to describe the central or integral part of something. It is the vital core. In its most profound sense, it also describes the essence of every human being. It is that place within each of us that is infinite, eternal, and universal. And I like to rest with these words, infinite, eternal, and universal, simply because these words, they can take you from this linear space of time into another space of time, into another concept of time that's infinite, that's eternal, that will make it easier for you to grasp the concept and the possibility of traveling back in time and traveling forward in time when it's actually an eternal place of time. So not everything is as linear as we see it here. And that possibility of understanding and connecting and realizing that might be easier for you through your soul essence if you haven't been able to connect with it before. And so when we talk about soul coaching and the essence of our souls, we also talk about soul journeys and taking a soul journey into the past. or into the future, or into some of the other realms that we may not as well connect with in our everyday lives. So, how would a soul journey be defined? It's a journey into the realm of the inner truth. A lot of the time, we ask for guidance from the outside, but sometimes we need to find our own truth. And that's what the soul journey and the inner journey can help you with. It's also a journey that reveals the secret pathways that help you clear the clutter, the inner clutter, to truly discover who you are, why you are here, and what can you still do in your lifetime. Sometimes it's not easy to recognize the inner clutter that we have within us, whether it be in our emotional bodies or in our minds or in our spiritual beings. But once we start getting used to taking these inner journeys into the future or into the past, that's when we get accustomed to recognizing where is there clutter that I can actually clear when I take these journeys into these different realms, into this aspect of the time and space that is not in my regular life. And what can a soul journey or a meditation journey then, when you take it into the past or into the future, for example, what can that give you? And I'll give you another quote from my teacher, Dennis Lin. So she says, miracles can occur in your life easily and effortlessly. It's simply a matter of remembering who you are. And in order to do this, you must clear the blockages that stand between you and your soul. So miracles can occur in your life once you open these pathways to the past and the future. Once you realize that everything in your timeline is connected. And when you journey into another time, as it seems to us in this linear expression of time that we have, you can bring some of that back into your present day life. And maybe miracles then are a little bit closer to who you are as you continue clearing that inner clutter, clearing those blockages that may be keeping you from truly understanding who it is that you are. So I chose a picture here where we have a paper that has been torn in two, which used to have the word can't or cannot in it. So we can tear that in two and actually turn it into a can. And the more inner journeys you do, the more you understand that essentially all the information, all the guidance you need, that is right within you. And so through taking these journeys into the past, perhaps you receive the ability to release the shadows and limitations of the past. You don't always know what they are. You only recognize that there's something that's keeping you from the brilliant future that's waiting you. So maybe there are some shadows and limitations in the past that you can also look at from the future. And you can also get guidance from the future on how to clear those blockages, how to clear that clutter, so that you can rise up to be the person that you know that you can be. You will get a new perspective on who you are at your essence. Not only the outside experience of who you are, not only the experience of what you have been, but really an experience of what it is that you can move towards, what it is that you can become, and what it is that you can do in your life. And sometimes there's a possibility of truly understanding something that previously you viewed as a negative aspect of you, so that you can turn it around and make it a strength and help others through that strength, so that you don't see yourself as being limited, but those limitations are taken away, and you can take with you the strengths that those struggles have taught you and have given you, and you turn them into strengths. And so we move to the second part. So when might be a good time for you to take a journey into the past or into the future? Always, I would guide you to start with your current life. Look at your current life and see, If in your current life you feel like you are blocked, somehow you feel limited, or you might even have this tangible connection in your body or this tangible feeling in your body that there's something that's pulling you back, that might be a clue for you that maybe it's time to take a journey into the past. You know that you are dealing with issues. You're doing everything that you can. And yet, somewhere deep within you, you know that these issues that I have right now in my current life, right now in front of me, they are the symptoms. They're not the source. If you know that you're not quite there with the source of the issue, that might be a good time for you to take a journey into the future or the past to see what might be the source of all these symptoms. Or maybe you have exhausted all the outside forms of help that you have. And maybe really it is now time to take that journey into the inner wisdom. You probably know this sentence, you are what you think. And then we come closer to the vast realm of the unconscious mind. And when you become aware that you are also what you don't know that you think. And when this question within starts bubbling up, what is it in my subconscious mind that I might hold as truth that might keep me from my brilliant future? There's something there. You just know it. You just don't know what it is, but there's something there that defines you. That might be a good clue for you to take a journey, an inner journey, either into the past or the future. So the goal is transformation, to transfer a problem that you have in your current life into a solution that can help you and also others in your life. And so how can you make the best of it? You take that journey into the past or the future, you gain all that wisdom, as we saw with Jojo. How can you integrate some of that? How can you actually bring some of that into your current life? What can you do before and what can you do after? Just 3 small tips that I thought could help you. Before you start the journey, make sure that you are very specific on what it is that you want to gain. What is that issue that you want to receive clarity on? Start with an intention and make that as clear as you can so that you can actually feel it in your body before you start. Do that before you enter the journey. And then after the journey, you can receive these brilliant, beautiful ideas, the whole plan for the next year or the next 6 months. And when you follow that plan, maybe your life will be different and not maybe it will. So you can receive big words, big guidance. But what is the tiny, small minute action that you can take? Right after that journey, what is the tiniest piece of action that you can take so that you can bring some of that wisdom into your life right now, right after that journey, right after you have completed it? What is that gift of the journey that you can take with you and make it true in your life, in your current life, right there and then? A 2-minute small piece of action. And then share your journey. Now, if you are working with a coach, naturally you would be talking about it with your coach. But if you are listening, for example, to one of Anne's meditations into the future life, into the future, share your experience with a friend. Talk about it. Make it real by actually voicing what it is that you experienced. That will make it easier for you to actually bring all those beautiful gifts of that journey into your life. And here's my bonuses. So I've actually made a free bonus for you, which is a past life clues questionnaire. This connects with your current life. So how can you look at your current life and maybe come up with some clues of what is a topic that you might need to look into in your inner journeys, whether you take them to the past or the future. This will be on my website in a couple of days' time. So by the time you get the recordings, you can find this. So I'll invite you to come to my website then. I do also offer personal sessions. So in case you want to take a personal journey with me, you can have €100 off for the rest of January. Just give me a call or WhatsApp me. You can find my number here or send me an email and we can go on a journey together. And Anne has an FLB practitioner course coming up here in January. If you cannot make that, I have one coming up in February. And just for being part of this summit, you can have €200 off the price of that course in case you want to learn yourself how to do journeys into the past or into the future, how to help others do these inner journeys where you can get all this beautiful guidance. And we do plenty of journeys on the course. So these are some of the bonuses that I have for you today. I'll invite you to connect with me either through WhatsApp or through my email if you are interested in working with me. Thank you so much for being here. It has been absolutely lovely. I think I'm close to the end of the time, but naturally, if there is a question, I'd be happy to answer. Thank you.
Well, I'm very grateful you trained with Denise Lynn because she is phenomenal. I just find her one of the best out there. So let's have a look. Yeah, people have just loved that. Very interesting. Wow. Thanks, Kati. Yeah, that was great information. And what's good is that people will be able to pause it and take more note of what you said in each part and look at the graphics you put up. So that's amazing. Yeah, really good. Yeah, really, really popular, really well structured. Yeah, you're such a teacher, aren't you? I never get any pictures together. I never do. And you put them all precise, all lovely. But I'm really glad when I come across people and they've trained with the people I really think are the best out there. It really lifts me up, and I'm so happy you trained with Denise Lynn because I first came across her so decades and decades and decades ago when you didn't have the internet and things, and she was mind blown. Then I saw her decades later, and she was still mind blown. Like, sort of had this energy and this beautiful energy around us. That's so good. That's really interesting. Um, Bhavna said, Kat, you have the most soothing voice. I can listen to you all day. She does, doesn't she? This is it. It changes the paces. So it's like, that's lovely. Thank you so, so much.
Thank
Let
you.
me just stop
Thank you.
recording.